Tuning in, tuning in, tuning in. Whee! It's Taurus. Hey guys, this is Street Level Spirituality, and this is Hangin with Taurus. This is what is it? It's hanging out with me, and we're gonna talk about the end of the year of 2019, and kind of just tune into just some really basic guidance on how to frame your mindset for your highest expression. How's that? Does that sound good? We can do that. This format, this series is different than a lot of tarot readers. If you notice, a lot of the videos are really similar out there that people do. They have a certain format, certain style. They do it this way, they do it that way. The astrology stuff's way too general. You have to know your rising sign and know your proper placements of your planets. If you're a Taurus, but you don't have a Taurus rising, they're going to tell you all this stuff about your planets that has nothing to do with you. So anyway, I'd rather just talk about general stuff. I'm not here to dissect each card, each planet, any of that stuff. I'm looking for themes and things that can help inspire my intuition. I was just saying this in the Aries video. I came into this kind of somewhat reluctantly. Just things have shifted around in my life. And I've had a couple different psychics in the last couple of years telling me that I should really be doing my tarot. So I don't have like a natural drive to make a name for myself and do this like professionally and all this stuff. But this is kind of more of a personal challenge as I'm going through a cycle in my life, coming out of a hermit mode for like 5 years, tuning more into my heart and being more honest. So hanging with Taurus is just me more being myself. And also, if you're like me and you like to put on videos when you go to sleep or something like that, or just have stuff in the background, that's kind of the format, kind of the idea. So it's slow going, casual. If you want something quick and dirty, and calculated, there's plenty of other videos out there like that. But if you want to hang out with me, you can hang out with me. Yay! Look at it, put some flowers over there. It's got these orchids. I went to the farmer's market. Oh, hi. Hello. You're a Taurus. You gotta love these things. Every Taurus I know loves orchids. I went to the farmer's market, and they had a whole bunch. It was so beautiful. And the guy's like, it was $15. I was like, yeah, that's pretty good for beautiful orchids. Guy's like, dude, I got a special today, $10. And I was like, $10? I've got some new orchids, yay. Anyway, I put them back there because I just rearranged my whole place. I live in a little house. And when I put the camera on, it looked really plain. I'm kind of going more minimalistic. When I moved into my little house, it was, God, I got rid of like maybe 80% of what I owned, and then I just spent the last week. I took literally everything I owned. I put out in the front yard, and I've just been slowly getting rid of stuff. It's really freeing. So I think I still have another 4 or 5 days, but it involves everything, like deep cleaning, redesigning the place. But I got a little yoga area on the patio, which is really cool. And I don't know, I hang out with myself so much that it's nice to invest a little bit in your environment. I'm learning. I have a Pisces full moon. I'm super, 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 super empathetic. I'm attempting to learn how to tune that to the benefit and good of my relationship with the world. I've spent a lot of my life hiding that part of myself and then going out in the world and pretending that I can be this strong businessman and deal with all these really intense people. And I'm realizing I'm a highly sensitive person, and that I need to create an environment where there's harmony, and doing this tarot is a part of that. So I really appreciate your support and hanging out with me, because this is part of my journey of getting out there, and hopefully there's something that helps you here. So enough of my yakking, but we are hanging out. I would love to hear your side of the conversation. Maybe you can leave it in the comments, but it's kind of hard to when I'm staring at a computer. But I can feel you in general as a collective. Taurians. And I love me a Taurian. There's no sign that I find more attractive than a Taurus. Tauruses are just fantastic, beautiful. I'm a Virgo, so they have that sense of aesthetic and grounding that I'm really attracted to. I love me a Taurian. Now, Taurus is and has been going through some pretty intense times. I don't know if you remember when those volcanoes were kicking off in Hawaii, but right at that time, the planet Uranus, which is the planet of sudden changes, quick moving changes, moved into the sign of Taurus for the first time since 1932, or I forget the year, but something like that. It's been a while. But the last time, Uranus went into Taurus, so Uranus is sudden changes, and it's kind of the revolutionary. Taurus is the bull, and Taurus doesn't necessarily like change that much. It represents the earth, represents love, beauty, all that stuff. I mean, I think you guys know this stuff, probably, maybe some of you don't, but you can't move a bull, they're stubborn. So with the planet Uranus in your where your sun is, there's I think it's a 6 or 8 year period of intense and often sudden shifts. Now that's going on in your first house. Well, not your first house, it'd be wherever your sun is, but your natal position of your personality or identity. So you're having radical insight into who you really are. And that can manifest within yourself, and it can manifest in areas outside yourself. Now, in a global sense, it's really interesting because, we're going to see, radical changes, anything that Taurus rules. So the financial markets, you might see some radical innovations, with technology, Bitcoin type like stuff. You might see governments fighting against, alternative currencies. The volcanoes were a little taste. We had a handful of earthquakes here over the summer in California. But it wouldn't be far-fetched to say that, because of the timing of the last big earthquakes in the California area and this cycle with Uranus, that we couldn't be seeing the big ones sometime in the next 6 years or something like that. Maybe in the peak of it in the next 3 years or something. I don't know. It's very possible. You might see volcanoes, whatever, earth stuff, also beauty. So you might see revolutions and major transitions in the beauty industry, maybe big changes in how we see beauty. I do brand development. I work with some fragrance and beauty companies in the past, and maybe it's more energetics, maybe it's more finding beauty, starting from the spirit. You're starting from the deepest part of your soul, and maybe we're getting into more flower essences as a part of the beauty regimen, or energetic medicines or therapies. Who knows what's possible, but anyway, you'll see sudden changes. These are sudden, so quick moving changes, things that come up out of nowhere. Now, so in general, we're talking about the end of the year here, but in general, this is just something you've been going through and will be going through. Taurus doesn't like changes, and especially sudden changes and revolutionary changes. But if it's been outside of your chart that long, probably, never in this lifetime for most anyone alive today, this is new. This is really, really new energy. This is energy that you've never experienced. It's radical. It's transforming you on a very fundamental level. So it's probably uncomfortable, but just roll with it. just go with it. Everyone's unique placements are going to be completely different, and there's a lot of stuff going on with Pluto and in Capricorn and, all this stuff in regards to authority and structure and old structures. So you might see radical transformations in aspects of yourself that you really thought were deeply ingrained in you. These very authoritative views or mindsets might totally shift out of nowhere. Anyway, there's tons of stuff there, but geez, it's a lot. So my natal Uranus is exactly opposite where it is now. So that's what you'd consider your kind of midlife crisis planets. So I'm feeling the Uranus shift on the opposite side of what you guys are feeling, which is also my south node. So that means it generally suggests that whatever your previous life, whatever you mastered in the past life, mine would have been the Taurus, the energy of Taurus, balancing materialism and all that stuff. So, which I'm pretty good with. I don't give a crap. Taurus can really hold on to their material possessions until they find that balance. And I don't really care. I'm like, here, have it. Here's my computer. You can have it. You want my car? You want to see it first before I give it to you? I'm drinking coffee at 10:30 at night because I had such a long day today. And I was doing the Aries video, and I was like, God, man, I look like I'm asleep. Everyone's going to think I'm a total doof. I'm a doof. But a doof on a little bit of coffee. Anyway, so let's get into your reading. I love drinks. I don't know about you guys. I'm drinking, this is chocolate, a chocolate protein shake. The chocolate reminds me of drinking carob milk as a kid because my parents are hippies. We're hanging out, right? That's cool. You drinking something too? What do you like to drink? Tell me about it. So before I do your tarot reading, I pull a card just to get the kind of general vibe of what's happening, just some sort of indicator of direction. And I really like what I see. It appears that there's a willingness to see the glass half full. That's the theme I'm seeing. So that's the tone that we're starting with. A willingness to see the glass half full. So I have a feeling there's some sort of old view, some old, really rigid structure that's starting to shake up inside of you, real fundamentally. That's breaking loose. That's fantastic, Taurus. No more stubbornness. Yeah, girl. Or boy. So I shuffled, but let's give it a few more little knickknacks. I do tarot differently. I use it as a divination tool. A lot of people do single cards at a time. I lay out all the cards and I look at everything and I try until I see the complete story of it. So it might take some time here, but we're chilling, right? We're hanging out. What are you doing? Maybe you're sleeping. Maybe you're in your car. That's probably the two times I watch videos like this the most. Laying in bed at night. I think sometimes I get a little lonely. It's fun to listen to someone talk about how awesome you are when you're in bed. And Taurus, you are awesome. I like me a Taurus. My daughter's a Taurus. Really significant people in my life. I'm Tauruses. I like it. Earth, grounded. All right, so let's do a little wackadoodle cut here. Let's put out your cards and let's see what's going on with Taurus. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see what's influencing it. Let's see what's up in the divine. Let's see what's down in the subconscious. Let's see what's in the near past, recent past, near future. Let's see what your attitude is. Let's see what your environment is. Let's see what your hopes and fears are. And let's see what the conclusion is. Whoa! Well, this is interesting. Let's tune into this. I'll try to yap a little bit while I'm doing it so you're not super bored and hanging out by yourself. Okay, so we have it's interesting. It's a segue from starting to see something half full because you're coming in from out of the cold. That cycle's over. You're like, fuck it. I'm not going to sit here and suffer anymore. And what's influencing it is, I've got to tune into this a little bit here. What's influencing it is this feeling of being removed from your true place in the world, or your truest, highest potential, your vibrant self. You're just like, I need that back. So something happened where you're like, I want to see the glass half full. I'm coming in from the cold. My true nature, my true heritage is within grasp. And this is freaking gorgeous. You're just like, I am the sunflower. So that's at the root of this. And congratulations, to basically say I'm worth it is a huge step in self-love and self-care and your spiritual growth, because how much can we give if we're not receiving? So, not that Tauruses, I think, have ever had a hard time receiving money, but this is more than that. So the divine or spiritual or the consciousness of divinity that's coming down and descending over you in your consciousness, if you really quiet your mind and listen, is this sense of soothing. There's a divine calling for soothing. So this is, some ways to tune into your divine presence right now would be sitting and petting your cats. Another would be, self-massage or getting a massage. Anything that has to do with touch, that sensory, that soothing, like holding a baby, or that feeling of being held like a baby. Hugs, anything that is this rejoicing. I have a feeling you've walked on your own for a while, whether that's literally or symbolically, and you're willing to, you have this kind of rejoice type feeling that you're desiring. So that's the divine energy that's coming down. And then subconsciously, or within the material realms, which is a different consciousness, is this feeling of the sun not rising. So that's what's kind of this counter polarity to that. So with the sun not rising, this childhood forgotten, it's this subconscious drive to recover that. That's what's kind of going on underneath all this. It's so... there's a person at a certain age within you that is wanting to have a voice. So there may be a certain age that you can reflect on, a certain age that has been overlooked, forgotten, pushed aside. You're at a time in your life now where you can utilize that part of your spirit, that part of your personality, can come back into the moment now and really, really be of use for you. So when you think about a time in your life when you were the most optimistic and tune into that age, you'll discover that person. And whoever that person is, that personality, that memory, that persona that you were at that time, bring it forward, invite it into the now. Because that's a part of yourself that is emerging and needs to be rekindled into your modern self. So that's what's going on between the divine realms and the earthly realms and your higher consciousness and your lower consciousness. There's always a relationship. So that was powerful. I really could feel this person calling you, and that it felt really strong for me. So anyway, so tune into that. And the way you're going to discover that person, like I said, is just close your eyes, clear your mind, take a deep breath, and just think of the time in your life where you were the most optimistic. Hone in on those memories around that time, the feelings, allow the feelings to come into your body, breathe through it. Maybe there's tough times, maybe not, whatever, just feel it. You're safe, you're good, it's all good. Find that person and invite that person back today. They're going to lead you to the next level. In your immediate past, I'm going to clarify this because I'm not sure if it's you or someone else. Oh, I see. Okay. So you went through some sort of deceitful relationship on some level. Or that deceitful relationship may have been what helped, or what made you lose that sense of optimism. That's what I'm tuning into here. So some sort of deceitful, jealous, immature people fighting for power, that kind of stuff. Immature people feed off other people. People who are more mature feed off the sun. They feed off their spirit. They feed off what they create for themselves. It's a higher consciousness. So there's some sort of heartbreak in the past, some sort of deceitful, immature relationship that robbed you from your optimism. You've come to this place now where you've had it. You're ready to kind of recover or reclaim, I should say, your heritage, your true place on the throne, so to say, of who this true person is. And I think you just need to bring this aspect of your personality back into the moment. So it looks like there's going to be coming up for you is a reckoning, a seeing of people for who they are, a seeing of experiences from the past for what they really are. And what's interesting about memory is that often we can go through experiences and we remember them based on our emotional view and awareness and at the best of our emotional abilities and emotional maturity at that time. Now, what we can do is, as we grow and develop and learn to see things from a higher vantage point, an ascendant view, is we start to understand the motivations of people, and we can start to see what was really happening. It's, I think a good way to look at this is when you're really young, you look up to your parents and you just think they're the best things ever, And then you get older and you recognize that they're human. And then you recognize that they can even be an asshole sometimes. And then you recognize that maybe they're kind of shitty in some ways. So, I'm saying that in somewhat of jest, but, we can really start to see things for what they are. And then we can start removing these attachments and the stuff that we used to blame ourselves for, and just see the humanity in everybody involved, and how imperfect we are. So part of this process is when you find that person who used to be more optimistic, bring that aspect of your personality forward, starting to see things more from an optimistic point of view, being very honest about your relationships and the environment, the people around you, reviewing the past, seeing it more for what it really was, not what you felt it was at the time, looking at it from a more practical and reasonable point of view. You're going to start really moving forward quickly here. Your attitude is all about moving forward quickly. And, so maybe the bull got kicked in the butt or something, you're just ready to charge now, but not in a negative way. You're ready to charge forward and really get the job done here. Maybe you were sitting around too long, dwelling on something, and now it's time to really move forward. So you have a really great attitude about it. Your environment, there might be around you, there might be somebody who's being a little stingy. There might be somebody who's a little proud. There might be someone who's even gloating. You tune in for yourself who this may be or what that might represent. It might also represent a group of people or an environment, a social circle of some sort that's a little bit proud of who they are and what they do, and there's a little bit of a veneer there. So I think that you're possibly navigating that and maybe seeing a little bit behind the need for image or the need to gloat about what you have or something along those lines. So I think or maybe it could even be an old aspect within yourself. Maybe that's the environment that you're recovering from, and kind of almost like retiring from that. Like, I don't need to be known for my image. I don't need to be known for what I have. I don't need to be known for being cool. I can see things for what they are. I recognize that optimism and having a good attitude and putting a good foot forward gets me a lot more in life than, fighting for some image or whatever, or being proud, or, it's like trying to create value out of something, that you didn't earn or something like that. Anyway, so tune into that for yourself. It could be within yourself, something you're getting over, or your environment. I think you're just getting I think you're recognizing the power of true beauty and kind of earning your place in the world by being a decent person, just being a beautiful person. Your hopes and fears is that you'll be free of this. So you're definitely letting go of something. Being free of something. What are you being free of here? Yeah, there's some. Well, I see. Yeah, there's the heartbreak, and then there was the. So circles of people, gloating, kind of gross energy, jealousy, deceit in the past. It's kind of like you're just like, can I just finally be free of this shit, please? I'm over it. So whatever that means for you, you'll have to fill in the blanks. And what's interesting is that the completion of the reading here, we're not beginning a new journey. So what I'm getting the feeling of here is that upon completion, it's not so much that we're moving forward into something new, it's that we're cleaning up the journey that we're on and the journey that we have been. And that would reinforce the idea of what I was suggesting earlier, that we can review our thoughts, go back in time, and change our memories based on maturity and wisdom that we've gained through life experiences since they happened. So I think this is really, really powerful. It's kind of like, it's a powerful journey within the journey you've already been taken. You're redefining the journey of your life up until this point, seeing things for what they are. Like I said, gloating, jealousy, deceitful people, all these people that pissed you off or hurt you, and you're like, fuck that, I'm not interested in participating in that at all. And I'm completely empowered within myself to go back through my life and redefine it based on my terms and my current awareness. So anyway, that's your reading for the rest of the year, the end of the year. So end of October, November, December, this will be the process that you're going through. A lot of people do readings. They kind of tell you what they want you to hear. I do the astrology work I've done in the past, I tend to call it like shadow astrology. I think it's similar with the tarot work I do too. It's like I'm just trying to find what's at the root or the core of what's going on, so that you're empowered to hopefully just set a mental view around what you're experiencing. So when it comes to responding to the moment on a day-by-day basis, you're empowered with the right tools. And again, in your case here, it's really about seeing that glass half full. And it's not that you have to do that. It's like you've already arrived there. That's what's already happening, which is great. You're coming out of that. You're saying, I'm worth it. I'm coming out of the cold. I don't need to live in poverty. I don't need to live in this kind of false abundance, that comes from, image. I'm going to create real abundance from within myself. I'm going to walk myself inside to the fire. I'm going to feed myself. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to create the environment that's going to nurture me the most. So anyway, so I hope that helped. Thanks for hanging out with me. It's like almost 11 o'clock. I think I'll go to sleep. I'm tired. But this is like some tarot stuff, whatever, chit chat and hanging out. But I'm going to be doing some other videos also. I do a lot of stuff where I do a lot of writing. And I use tarot and astrology for different things, for, in more intuitive kind of insight stuff. But I do a lot of writing about the human condition, kind of social critic, cultural critic kind of stuff too, and just stuff that's hopefully helpful or interesting. And so I'll be posting some more of those videos too. So subscribe would be really awesome, because then more people see it, I guess. Everyone else says it. I hate selling myself. Anyway, if you could, that'd be awesome. And hopefully we can hang out again soon. Thank you.